Good morning, all of you. Good morning, all of you, my dear students. Very good morning to each and everyone who is watching my English grammar videos. Competitive English by Nadella. Today's class is relative clause. It is important, more important in grammatical topics. That is relative clause. Please concentrate, my dear students. Relative clause. And then here the students should understand what is relative clause and what is the definition of the relative clause, what is the introduction of the relative clause, what is meant by relative clause. Relative clause. This is the topic, my dear students. The explanation about the relative clause is a relative clause is one kind of, it is a dependent clause. It is a dependent clause. There are, we have already known about the clauses. There are two main clauses are there. One is the main clause according to structure, and the second one is the subordinate clause. Subordinate clause. Main clause is also called independent clause. Subordinate is also called dependent clause, my dear students. But here I will explain you what is the difference between main clause and subordinate clause, or independent clause and dependent clause. Main clause is a clause, it has a subject and predicate or verb. It gives complete meaning. It does not depend on other clauses to give full meaning. It is independent clause, main clause is. And subordinate clause, same, the features are, the subordinate clause also follow. It has also subject and predicate and other words, but it does not give complete sense or meaning. It gives incomplete meaning. It depends on other clause to give complete meaning. That's why it is the subordinate clause or dependent clause, my dear students. First of all, you should understand. Here we are talking about relative clause. It is a subordinate clause or dependent clause. Why? This clause consists of subject and predicate or verb. It gives some meaning, not complete meaning. It depends on other clauses, main clause, to give full meaning. That is why it is a dependent clause, my dear students. It has a subject and verb or predicate. It can't stand alone. It can't stand alone as a sentence. A relative clause always begins with, how to find out? It begins with relative pronouns. What are the relative pronouns? The relative function of the relative pronouns, which substitute for pronouns substitute for noun or noun clause. or noun clause. Noun or noun clause. We use pronoun instead of a noun. That is a pronoun. Definition of the pronoun. In the place of noun, we use a pronoun. The relative pronoun also, instead of a noun or a noun phrase, we use relative pronouns. Generally, the relative clause are two kinds, my dear students. Number one is restrictive relative clause. Restrictive. Number two is, second one is non-restrictive. 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 Restrictive, non-restrictive means in general sense we are uttering these words, defining relative clause, non-defining relative clause. Both are same. Essential clause, non-essential clause. These are the synonyms. Defining restrictive or essential clause are same. Non-restrictive, non-defining, non-essential are clauses same. These are mainly two types. But we are discussing first of all relative clause. Generally, what is relative clause? Relative clause. Relative clause, one kind of dependent, it has subject and predicate. It can't stand alone. It can't stand alone individually in a sentence. It sometimes calls adjective clause. It functions an adjective. The word adjective, what is the definition of the adjective? An adjective is a word which describes and tells something more about the noun or a pronoun. It is an adjective. That means the relative clause also called adjective clause. That means the relative clause functions. The word adjective, what functions it has done, the same functions has been done by the relative clause. That's why it is called an adjective clause. Why? Because, why do we call an adjective clause? It functions like an adjective, That is more important, my dear student. But relative clause, how to find out relative clause? A relative clause always begins with. How to find out relative clause in a sentence? Always begins with relative pronoun, which substitutes for a noun or noun phrase. But what are the relative pronouns? We should also know that things. It always begins with relative pronoun. That means this clause, a relative pronoun is a pronoun. A relative pronoun is a pronoun that introduces relative clause. Who introduced relative clause? Relative pronoun introduce relative clause. It is a relative pronoun because it relates. R-E-L-A-T, relates. It combines. It deals. It joins. It club. It relates the word that it is define. It modifies the relative clause. But always start with the relative pronoun. We have already known relative pronouns. For example, who. Who is a relative pronoun? Who is a relative pronoun? Who. Whom. Whom. Whose. Whose. Which. What. These are 5 mainly. And that. That what is not there? That. These are 5 are relative pronouns. Generally, who, whom, who, whose, which, that, these are interrogative pronouns, my dear students. Why? Because these WH words are useful to construct the interrogative sentences, to frame the questions. Who is your father? Who is your headmaster? Whom do you want? Whose book is this? Which is your class? These are basically they are interrogative pronouns. Interrogative pronouns. Why do we call interrogative pronouns? It is one kind of the pronoun. They are useful to construct the interrogative sentence or questions, to draw the answer from the persons. But here these same pronouns, interrogative pronouns, are called relative pronouns. Relative pronouns. Why? Because these pronouns relates. Relates means it gives relation. It gives relation. It combines. That means it is the pronoun. For example, it relates to the word, that it is a relative clause. That means, for example, the person who phoned me, phoned is a verb, main verb, phoned me last night. It is a simple past tense. Already this action has been completed. The person here who phoned me last night, this is the relative clause. Why? Because it starts with relative pronoun who. It is one of the relative pronoun. Actually, who is interrogative pronoun. But who relates the sentence, the word, the person, the noun, common noun. That means it is called relative pronoun. It combines, it joins, it functions as a conjunction. The continuation is my teacher, is my teacher. I will read down all the sentence, complete sentence. The person who phoned me last night is my teacher. But in which tense, which is the main verb here? Is. The sentence is in the simple present tense. In B forms, is, am, or indicates simple present tense. Was, were indicates simple past tense. The person is my teacher. The person is my teacher. The person is my teacher is a simple present tense. In between, we insert the one of the relative clause or independent clause or subordinate clause. It gives some essential information to the person. Person is a common noun. Who is that person? It is vague. The person who phoned me last night, that particular person. Restrictive relative clause. Defining relative clause. Without this clause, we don't understand who is that person. That's why it is essential clause. That's why the restrictive clause. That's why the defining clause. It gives essential information, important information about the person, a common noun. Without this relative clause, we don't know who is the person phoned me last night. That's why it is more important, my dear student, we should understand. What are the relative pronouns? Already I told you. There are mainly 5 relative pronouns. We should remember these words. Who, whom, whose, which, that. There is no what. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5, who, whom, whose, which, that. These 5 are relative, basic relative pronouns. That we should understand. All the students should understand the importance of relative clause, my dear students. Who and whom. Who is functions as a subject. Subjective pronoun. Whom. Whom is functions as a objective pronoun. Objective relative pronoun. It is a subjective pronoun, relative pronoun, my dear students. And generally they are using for people or persons. But what about whose? Whose is for possession. 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 Possession means have, own, possession. And what about which? Which for things. Things or objects. Instead of things, we use which, my dear students. That can be, what about that? That can be used for things as well as persons or peoples. Persons or peoples. Both things and persons, as a relative pronoun we use that. You should remember this, particularly that is more important. But particularly the important note is here, we should note that can be used, that can be used only in defining relative clause, defining and restrictive relative clause, not in non-defining, non-restrictive, non-essential clause. You should remember that thing. That can be used for things, both things and people, instead of a relative pronoun. It is only defining a relative clause. Only defining relative clause, non-defining relative. It does not write the instead of the pronoun non-defining. We should not use in non-defining relative clause. That these clauses that are essential to the sentence, we are discussing about the defining relative clause. In next session, we are discussing non-defining relative clause. Defining relative clause, these clauses that are essential. Essential means need, necessary to the sentence, and do not simply add extra information. Not a information, it is essential, compulsory. In defining relative clause is essential in particular situation. For example, the person who phoned me last night is my teacher. For example, one more example, the car which is useful for things and persons also, and that also, maybe that, hit me, dashed me, was yellow. The car was yellow. Which car? Which hit me? That hit me. We are the objects other than persons, inanimate objects. We use which or that. Both are correct. The car which hit me was yellow. The car that hit me was yellow. Which is the restrictive relative clause, defining relative clause. The defining relative clause is essential in the sentence. It is only not using for adding some information. It is not necessary, but it is essential. Without this clause, we have no clarification. The car was yellow. What is the benefit of, what is the use of that information? The car which hit me last night was yellow. That gives information. That is the main point you should understand, my dear students. That is the main point. And the relative clause, we should understand all the rules and regulations. We are discussing defining relative clause, my dear students. Defining relative clause. Discussing about the defining relative clause, not for the non-defining relative clause, only defining relative clause. Okay, Defining relative clause gives us some essential information. Essential, that is more important. Essential or essential. The information tells us who or what we are talking about. Who or what we are talking about. Essential information, that is more important. Not extra information. We usually use a relative pronouns, sometimes adverbs also use in relative clause, not only pronouns. The relative clause start with the relative defining relative clause start with relative pronouns, sometimes adverbs also. For example, I will write a simple example. The woman who lives, LIVS, lives next door, the woman who lives next door works in a bank, works in a bank. The woman who lives next door, the woman is a common noun. The woman works in a bank. The woman, any woman, we don't know particular woman. The essential relative clause defining who lives next door, is living besides me. Besides me, by the side of me. That particular woman, it gives essential information. It is a defining relative clause, my dear student. Who is useful, used instead of a noun to the persons only. Persons only. For example, the flights. For example, there are flights, aeroplanes, flights that have been cancelled. That have been cancelled. There are flights that have been cancelled. There are flights that have been cancelled. That flights, it not a person's human. We have take that. That is a relative pronoun, my dear students. We can use who, that to talk about people also. We can use people also. That can be used people also. But who is not used for things or objects. That is more common and more informal. For example, he is the man who drive me. He is the man who drive me. In same time, in this place, he is the man that he is a man. Directly verb is there. In this situation, it is not possible to use that. See, some example I will examine. He is the man that I met at the conference. That after the person, that may be used in defining relative clause. And then which and that. We can use which or that to talk about things. Which or that, both are correct. A bit of more informal. For example, the laptop which I bought last week has damaged. Here the laptop which I bought, here instead of which we use that also. That Okay, my dear students. Instead of which we use also that also. And other pronouns, relative pronouns. What are the other pronouns? Which? Other pronouns, when. We already told you. When also. Adverb when also comes in relative pronoun. When. When can refer to the time. When can refer to the time. For example, summer is the season. Summer is the season. Summer is the season when I am happy. When I am happy. About the season, when I am happy, the season, summer is the season. We are discussing about the summer. In that period, that time I am happy. And my dear students, where? Okay, sorry. Where? Where? Where can be referred to the place. That is more important. For example, how to use as a relative clause here, defining relative clause. This is the stadium. This is the stadium where I played. Where I played. This is a relative clause, defining a relative clause. It gives you, it expresses, it describes about the stadium. That's why it is also adjective clause. Not only relative pronouns, relative adverbs also. When, where, we should use as a to construct the defining relative clause. This is the stadium where I played. That is the relative clause. Whose refers to the person that something belongs. Whose, we should construct one sentence. Whose is also relative pronoun. It is a possessive. Whose means possessive. Having, own. Whose refers to the person that something belong to. For example, he is a musician. He is a musician whose albums have sold millions. Whose albums? He is a musician whose means possession. The albums of that musicians have sold millions of dollars. That is the relative clause, defining relative clause. In sometimes we should omit the relative clause also. In sometimes omitting the relative clause. In sometimes omitting the relative clause. Omit. You need not write the relative clause in writing or spoken language. Sometimes we can leave out. That means drop out. The relative pronoun we can usually leave out. For example, which relative pronouns leave out here? The relative pronouns leave out. Some of the relative pronouns may not be useful. That relative pronouns were here, that, who, which, that. It is followed by a subject. When it is, that is the rule. This is one of the exception. This is one of the exception. Sometimes we can leave out or omit the relative pronoun. We can usually leave out who, which, and that. These three relative pronouns. When When we dropped this one, when it is followed by a subject, without followed by subject, we cannot drop these relative pronouns. For example, my dear students, for example, the assistant that we met was really kind person. That means the assistant that we met was really kind. Here, after the relative pronoun, the sentence starts with subject verb structure. Subject verb structure. We met, subject verb. That means in that time we may be dropped or leave out or omitted that. That is also right. The assistant we met was really kind. This must be noted down, my dear students. It is more important. When do we drop that relative pronoun? After the relative pronoun, the construction of the sentence, subject plus verb, on that time we should drop the relative pronoun that or who or which. We cannot usually leave it if it is followed by verb. But it is followed by verb, we cannot drop it, we cannot omit the relative pronoun. For example, the assistant that helped us was really kind. Directly verb is there. There is no subject in between relative pronoun and clause. On that time we should not drop the relative pronoun. The assistant that helped us was really kind. Here the note exception is when we can usually leave out who, which, that if it is followed by subject. Here the subject is there, on the time we dropped the relative pronoun, my dear students. It is the regarding to relative clause. I have explained you in defining relative clause only in this session, and subject verb agreement also more important, my dear students. What is the subject? You remember relative pronoun. He substitutes for a noun which could be a singular or plural. The substitution, the verb in the relative clause must agree with the original noun. For example, subject verb agreement is more important. A person is lucky. A person is lucky. Lucky. He wins the lottery. He wins the lottery. A person is lucky. He wins the lottery. How to combine this sentence? There are two sentences. Combine with who. A person is lucky. Instead of pronoun, personal pronoun he, who wins the lottery? Who wins the lottery? Why do we add person is a singular? This is the subject verb agreement. We should also observe this one also in relative clause. A person the person is lucky, who wins the lottery? That is the right answer, my dear students. The same sentence I can write like this. The people who win the lottery are lucky. Here the people, where we are using the are. It is a plural noun. We should use are. The person is a singular noun. In previous sentence, we use is. The subject is a plural. We use win in simple present tense, V1 verb, not does form. The person is a singular who is wins, thus form. That you should observe also. That is more important while writing the relative clause, my dear student. It is a defining relative clause. The people who win the lottery are lucky. We should use are. If you write is, it is a wrong sentence. If you say wins, it is a wrong construction, my dear students. Okay, my dear students, all of you, goodbye. Thank you, each and everyone. Next class we will meet again. Goodbye, all of you.